So with me now is California Democratic Congressman Bera. I want to start with the latest on the shooting in Pensacola. You sit on the Foreign Affairs Committee. The National Security Advisor said it appears to be a terrorist attack, but then the FBI is not calling it terrorism. Will your committee be taking any actions in response to this shooting?
Well, certainly let's let the FBI conduct their investigation before we jump to conclusions, but it does certainly seem like there was a terror action. We're supportive of what Secretary Esper said in terms of reviewing the whole vetting process as these foreign nationals come to train with our troops and use our equipment. We may take a look at it. We've been looking at Saudi Arabia ever since the Jamal Khashoggi assassination, and there are some concerns of whether the Saudis are truly our friends or not.
So the gunman, a Saudi national, who's been in the U.S. now for 2 years as part of that Pentagon training program, what do you think is known about a trainee before their arrival or even during the program?
Well, you would hope that foreign nationals who are using U.S.-made equipment, they do a lot of joint exercises with us. It certainly is a good procedure. It prepares our troops to work together and interact with our allies around the world. That said, again, this act that happened on Friday leads us to take another look at that vetting process. But we do want to do joint training.
Yeah, and it's not just Saudi Arabia. There are many countries that get to enjoy this opportunity of training with the U.S. military. Do you see, while the investigation is ongoing, in any way the program should be suspended or temporarily, modified, changed?
I'll leave that up to the military. I trust them. Again, Secretary Esper has said he will conduct a full review of the vetting process. And again, I'll trust our commanders to make that decision.
And where's your level of confidence in Saudi Arabia being part of an investigation?
I hope they cooperate with us. They've said they will fully cooperate with us. And that said, again, on the heels of the Jamal Khashoggi assassination, we've got some concerns.
Okay, I want to pivot now to the impeachment inquiry. Democratic sources telling CNN that tomorrow's hearing will focus on Ukraine, but will likely include some discussions of the details from the Mueller report to show a pattern of Trump's behavior that shows impeachable conduct. So what's your reaction to that potential plan or reported plan?
I'd probably stick to the report and evidence that the Intelligence Committee gathered that you saw in these public hearings and that are in the Intelligence Committee's report. The Ukraine evidence. Certainly, I read the redacted Mueller report, and there's plenty of evidence of impeachable actions and obstruction of justice in there. That said, my opinion is we keep it focused on what came out around the Ukraine
and why
hearing. I think there's plenty of evidence to draw the conclusion that there was an obstruction of Congress, and there's plenty of evidence that there was an abuse of power. I think those charges have been made, and again, I'll leave it to the Judiciary Committee to draw the articles of impeachment, but my sense is you've got plenty to work with.
Some moderate Democrats have said, they would prefer the Mueller report not be included in that because they feel like they'd get some pushback in their, districts. What do you think about those concerns?
I think at the end of the day, impeachment's impeachment, whether you include the Mueller report or not. Again, I just think the last few months, the hearings, the depositions have gathered evidence of abuse of power, and I think they made the case pretty strongly. I also think the obstruction of Congress case is pretty self-evident. The fact that he won't give us witnesses, they won't release the information that we're seeking. So I think those are two pretty solid charges, and I suspect we'll see articles around there. I'll leave it to the Judiciary Committee to debate the Mueller charges.
And so with the information that you know of so far, would you vote to impeach this president?
I think it'll be hard not to take a vote to impeach. Again, you heard the constitutional experts and the scholars last week, and they were pretty solid that our founders put the impeachment clause in there for this type of incident.
Congressman Bera, thank you so much.